Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
This is your Weather Xtreme video for Sunday, October the 23rd. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in, and let's get right to some imagery this morning, but let's start with the radar. There's a look at the composite radar across the southeastern U.S., the radar mosaic. And we've had a big cluster of thunderstorms, an MCS or a mesoscale convective system, develop over eastern Oklahoma last night. And the bulk of that is down approaching Houston, while we have some clouds and some rain on radar across the Mid-South area, just to the southwest of Memphis. Will that reach us? I seriously doubt it, and I'll show you why. First, let's take a look at the southeastern radar satellite, and there you can see that we're still clear. I do think we'll see some clouds this afternoon, but the reason that I don't think we'll see anything in the way of significant rain has to do with the sounding from the Shelby County Airport at Calera. And you can see when you get, all the way up, the separation of the temperature, the red line, and the dew point, the green line, indicates that the atmosphere is quite dry. Now, can that be changed? Yes, it can, and that's why I think the possibility exists with the clouds that we might see some sprinkles, especially later in the afternoon and early evening hours, but I really seriously doubt that we will see any significant rain with this event. There's a look at Mount Cheehah's Skycam this morning, and the color certainly coming in up there, but right now the color's from the sunrise. And then one of my favorite shots, Trussville, another beautiful sunrise going on there. On our surface map this morning, we have high pressure centered over the mid-Atlantic states, nosing down across the southeast into the central Gulf of Mexico. And in the upper atmosphere, here comes the trough that is responsible for producing the MCS last night and keeping that going this morning. But again, the bulk of the energy is going down into Louisiana and extreme southeast Texas, so I don't think we're going to see any serious issues. A little bit warmer this morning, as you can see, temperatures across central Alabama dancing around the 40-degree mark primarily. But again, with Gadsden, you can see reaching 34. That means, once again, we had some patchy frost. And I think this is the last morning for patchy frost for at least a few days anyway. QPF-wise, we're still right at the edge of when we expect some significant rain across the central Alabama area. So the QPF not showing any significant amounts just yet. But I do believe with the next event, we have the potential for about a half to 3/4 of an inch, and that again coming primarily Thursday afternoon into the evening hours, but ending first thing Monday morning. No organized severe thunderstorms forecast by the Storm Prediction Center, but they do have a few areas where they expect some thunderstorms. Tropics continue to be somewhat active, not real bad, but certainly two areas that are being watched. The one to the east-southeast of the Lesser Antilles, not expected to develop much. The other area still interacting with land and therefore not expected to develop in the next 48 hours, but has a much higher potential. There's a look at the infrared satellite imagery for that. And again, some strong thunderstorms around it. But as you can see, it's going to continue to interact with the land. Of course, the important thing here is that the models there's great disparity, and the bottom line is it looks like it is coming up towards the Yucatan, so we'll be watching that. The 06Z GFS model run, you can see the rain over the Mid-South for this morning and into the very early afternoon. Again, I don't think it's going to get here by Monday. The trough has gone by completely, so we should be improving, and the weather should be just beautiful as we have high pressure and beginning to get a little bit of a change to the flow. We see that change on Tuesday, and there's the ridge and a slight southwesterly flow, so we should continue the warm-up with temperatures climbing up into the upper 70s. The southwesterly flow continues as we begin to develop a fairly significant trough off to the west in the Four Corners vicinity. That trough comes into Texas and Oklahoma on Thursday, and I think that's when the front begins to approach. You can see some pretty chilly air behind it. I don't think the air is going to be quite as chilly as we were looking at yesterday. And then taking an intermediate time, the GFS suggests that by midnight Thursday night, or early Friday morning that the rain will be over. I think we'll have a pretty good shot at some rain. I just don't think everybody necessarily will get any. The trough goes on by Friday at midday, and therefore we should be improving nicely in the afternoon with some breezy conditions, but certainly getting out of the clouds and out of the rain. May actually see some sun by late afternoon. The northwesterly flow continues for Saturday, so that should mean a beautiful day, and also for Sunday as the flow becomes a little bit more zonal for us as the westerlies are a little bit further to the north. And of course, that would mean that by Monday the 31st, and we're getting into voodoo, I understand, but the Halloween looks to be a very nice situation. Looking out a bit further into voodoo country, we do see that the pattern remains fairly active with a nice short wave coming through the mid-Mississippi River Valley around the 3rd of November. And then following that, we end up with a fairly nice southwesterly flow around the 7th of November, and that certainly means that it looks like the early part of November is going to end up warm for us. Well, thanks for tuning into the Weather Xtreme video. Expect James Spann to have the next edition first thing tomorrow morning. In the meantime, if you're local to us here in the Birmingham area in central Alabama, be sure to catch my weather forecast tonight on ABC 3340 at 5 and 10 p.m. I hope you have a wonderful day, and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.